During one mystery-solving case, Mystery Inc. captures and unmasks Dr. Najib, who disguises himself as the mummy to scare everyone at the museum. After that, Shaggy says he wants to get out of the museum and go somewhere sunny, but Velma and Fred want to stay behind to study Aztec history. Daphne sides with Shaggy because she also wants to go somewhere fun and relaxing for a change. At that moment, a police officer who is escorting Dr. Najib overhears the conversation and suggests that Mystery Inc. should go to the Blowout Beach Bingo Bash, which is currently taking place. He tells them that the festival lasts for 3 full days and is filled with singing, dancing, games, and a huge amount of food. Realizing that there is no reason to waste time, Mystery Inc. hops into the Mystery Machine and drives straight toward the Blowout Beach Bingo Bash. On the way, Velma wants to make a detailed schedule to optimize everyone's fun, but Shaggy and Daphne think that planning everything so carefully is completely unnecessary. However, Fred fully supports Velma, because making schedules is one of his favorite kinds of plans. Velma and Fred insist that they are fun people and that they are not obsessed with mysteries. But Daphne and Shaggy disagree, and Shaggy quickly goes off on a long tangent about food together with Scooby-Doo. Velma and Fred decide to prove their point by winning the captains of the Blowout Beach Bingo Bash. Not long after that, Mystery Inc. arrives at the beach, but the place looks nothing like what they imagined. Because of that, everyone agrees to find a hotel first and decide what to do next later. As soon as Mystery Inc. opens the door to the hotel, 2 teenagers suddenly rush out in a panic. While they are still wondering what could have frightened them so badly, the hotel owners begin talking about the ghost pirates. Rob and Laura explain that a few days earlier, the ghost pirates come to the harbor and destroy the docks, which terrifies the tourists and drives them away. Just as Rob and Laura announce that the hotel is completely full, one guest unexpectedly checks out on the spot, even though a mystery is clearly forming right in front of them. Velma and Fred force themselves to stay focused, because they want to win the captain's hat at the Blowout Beach Bingo Bash. Rob and Laura then reveal that last year's champions are their 2 children, Chad and Chrissy. Velma is about to ask them for advice when Rob and Laura explain that this year's captain's hat is stolen by the ghost pirates a few days ago. Because of that, Mystery Inc. decides that they will recover the captain's hat themselves. At that moment, Chad and Chrissy suddenly appear and claim that they will take care of it on their own. Mystery Inc. quickly realizes that the 2 teenagers are deep in their rebellious phase and speak in an extremely arrogant way. Chad and Chrissy not only refuse to help but also openly mock Mystery Inc. Rob and Laura believe that the captain's hat has given their children a dangerous illusion of power. Velma then asks for more information about the ghost pirates. Rob and Laura point to a painting hanging nearby. Captain Bash and Bingo Bell are once notorious pirates who own the most terrifying ship to ever sail the great seas. At the front of their ship stands a statue of the goddess Aurora, which is meant to bring good luck. However, after spending too much time wandering the ocean, Captain Bash and Bingo Bell eventually grow tired of life at sea and choose to hide out for a while at Blowout Beach. At that time, the area becomes a paradise for criminals, because all 4 surrounding seas are filled with pirates and ruthless outlaws. They even build a secret tunnel hidden deep beneath Blowout Beach so they can smuggle goods without being detected, with countless treasures, gold and silver stolen from their raids. The pirates throw a massive celebration that lasts for 3 days and 3 nights. However, on the 3rd day, a Navy warship suddenly appears and launches a surprise ambush to capture them. Captain Bash and Bingo Bell anticipate this moment, so they disguise 2 teenagers with the captain's hat in order to shift the blame onto them. At the same time, they escape back to their pirate ship and destroy the Navy warship in the chaos. What Captain Bash and Bingo Bell do not expect is that the Navy has reinforcements, and as soon as the battle escalates, both of them abandon the fight and flee with the treasure. Just then the sheriff, the deputy sheriff, Director Monkfish, and his assistant Mitzi suddenly arrive with an arrest warrant, because Monkfish believes that Rob and Laura are responsible for the pirate attack that happened a few days earlier. Monkfish also claims that the facilities in the area have fallen into disrepair and can no longer guarantee the safety of tourists. Rob and Laura defend themselves by asking why they would ever steal the captain's hat from their own children, and they point out that Monkfish has always wanted them to sell this land. Monkfish cannot say anything, so he runs out of arguments and chooses to leave. Realizing that there are far too many mysteries unfolding at once, Fred runs after the sheriff to express his willingness to help. However, the sheriff dismisses Mystery Inc. as nothing more than a group of useless teenagers and refuses their offer. Fred is not discouraged, so he tells everyone to split up and search for clues. Daphne will investigate the docks and try to talk to Monkfish, while Scooby-Doo and Shaggy will investigate the pirate ship owned by Captain Bash and Bingo Bell, which is now anchored in the harbor as a historical display. Later, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are shown around the pirate ship Salty Brick by a museum guide. As the guide keeps delivering long and tedious explanations, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy quickly lose interest and start looking for an excuse to leave. When the guide is not paying attention, they sneak away to search for food. What they do not expect is that the ghosts of Captain Bash and Bingo Bell suddenly appear inside the kitchen, with no other option. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy immediately run for their lives as the ghost pirates threaten them. Even though the museum guide sees the villains right in front of him, his expression does not change at all, and as a result he is kicked off the very ship he works on. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy disguise themselves as ship dismantling workers and pretend that they want to redesign the interior slightly, so they ask the ghost pirates for help. At the exact moment when the ghost of Captain Bash smashes one side of the pirate ship Salty Brick, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy finally find their escape route. Taking advantage of the situation, the ghosts of Captain Bash and Bingo Bell steal the ship and sail away. At the same time, Velma and Fred are investigating inside a club. There they unexpectedly notice Chad and Chrissy sitting quietly in a corner, so they walk over and greet them in a friendly way. In response, Chad and Chrissy act distant and clearly show that they have no interest in talking. After that, Velma and Fred start thinking about how they can still win the captain's hat. Because the party has almost been completely ruined, while she is distracted, Velma accidentally bumps into Tommy and Brenda, and in that moment she unintentionally creates a new dance move called Do the Jinky, inspired by her own catchphrase. Very quickly everyone in the club starts copying Velma and Fred, and the place soon returns to its original lively atmosphere. Meanwhile, Daphne is talking with director Monkfish and his assistant Mitzi. Monkfish wants to tear down the old pathway and build a new pier to increase profits, but because he is busy posing for newspaper photos, he leaves Mitzi to continue the conversation. Mitzi explains that she personally witnesses the pirate attack earlier that morning, and it matches exactly what Rob describes. She also says that Rob often leads tours and recites a poem before he breaks his leg in an accident, and the poem talks about the treasure of Captain Bash and Bingo Bell. However, what concerns Daphne the most is where Monkfish is during the time when the pirates are rampaging through the area. Mitzi adds that although Monkfish is not well liked by the townspeople, deep down he still cares about the town in his own way, even if the way he shows it is deeply flawed. Later on, Daphne goes to look for Velma and Fred and sees both of them dancing the Jinky. The dance makes Velma and Fred completely forget about searching for clues. And as a result, only moments later Scooby-Doo and Shaggy suddenly appear together with the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell. The ghost pirates quickly turn the club into chaos by frightening everyone around them, and before long people are rushing outside in panic, leaving only Mystery Inc. hiding beneath the table. Suddenly the lights go out, and Mystery Inc. can no longer see the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell, nor Tommy and Brenda. After that they return to the hotel, but everyone immediately starts blaming one another for bringing the pirates into the club. At that moment, Rob and Laura step in and talk about how only teamwork can help everyone solve the problem. At the very least, Mystery Inc. stops arguing and finally returns to their rooms to rest. While Scooby-Doo is preparing to eat his second dinner, he unexpectedly discovers a secret door hidden between two of Mystery Inc.'s rooms. The group decides to explore the hidden passage and accidentally witnesses the hotel owners arguing with each other. When they try to head back to their beds, they realize that the space inside is far larger than they imagined. Mystery Inc. randomly chooses one path and discovers that it allows them to observe the police station, where the sheriff and the deputy sheriff are mysteriously renovating the interior in the middle of the night, which leaves them shocked. They choose another path afterward and eventually find a way out. However, they do not expect to discover the pirate ship Salty Brick, belonging to the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell. It turns out that the pirates used the low tide to move the ship inside through the opening, and when the tide rises again, no one would ever suspect that a cave exists in that place. Mystery Inc. wants to investigate the ship, but Scooby-Doo and Shaggy suddenly complain that they are far too exhausted. Realizing that both of them are clearly lacking Scooby snacks, Daphne gives in to their demands. And when 2 snacks are still not enough, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy finally agree after receiving a third one. Mystery Inc. boards the pirate ship and discovers Tommy and Brenda tied to the mast. The two explain that the pirates will return at dawn, so everyone must act quickly. Fred realizes that this could be their only chance to capture the real masterminds behind everything, so he immediately assigns Tommy and Brenda to go find help, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy to retrieve the bridge planks, and the others to focus on setting up traps. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy go to collect the planks, but once they finish, they realize that they have laid them in the wrong direction. To make matters worse, the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell suddenly appear, forcing Scooby-Doo and Shaggy to rearrange the planks to create an escape route. Before long, they manage to lure the 2 pirates onto the ship, which also causes the others to start running. The familiar cat-and-mouse chase of Mystery Inc. begins once again. Just as the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell corner Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, the rest of the group intervenes in time to save them. However, when Mystery Inc. attempts to use their most important trap, they accidentally trap themselves instead. After that, the ghost pirates force Mystery Inc. to experience the terror of walking the plank. When they are pushed to the edge, Fred spots Tommy and Brenda below and quickly alerts the others, and all of them jump down together to escape. This action enrages the ghost pirates, who become determined to chase Mystery Inc. no matter what. Meanwhile, the blowout beats Bingo Bash resumes, and everyone is stunned when they see the pirate ship of the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell chasing after Mystery Inc. Just as Tommy manages to drive the canoe ashore, the townspeople unite to fight back against the pirates. Even though they try their best, their efforts achieve very little because the ghost pirates only need a few cannon shots to frighten the crowd into fleeing. After causing enough destruction, the pirates choose to retreat. By evening, everyone sits close together because so many buildings have been destroyed. Rob and Laura complain that they cannot rebuild anything, since the hotels are already too old and worn down to be restored. At that moment, Monkfish suddenly appears and tries to convince them to sell the land to him. Watching this scene, Mitzi finally reaches her breaking point, so she stands up and angrily confronts him. "My hometown is being torn apart, and you are using this disaster to profit for yourself." After saying that, Mitzi quits her job on the spot and forces Monkfish to leave. However, the damage left behind by the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell is far too severe, and no one knows what to do next. Then Fred comes up with a plan and asks everyone to help him the following day. Before long, the sun begins to set, and Fred prepares to announce the winner of the captain's hat for the captains of the Blowout Beach Bingo Bash. Suddenly, the pirate ship owned by Captain Bash and Bingo Bell appears out of nowhere, and it crashes straight through the harbor barrier without hesitation as it moves into the town. The 2 ghost pirates swing down from the ship on ropes and openly threaten Mystery Inc. With no other choice, Velma, Fred, and Daphne are forced to run away. Seeing this, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy rush in to fight against the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell. Scooby-Doo fires Scooby Snack bullets, which force the 2 pirates to dodge again and again. But during a brief moment of carelessness, Shaggy allows them to fire back and the helicopter is destroyed as a result. With nowhere else to go, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy escape onto a roller coaster. They disguise themselves as Velma and Fred in order to lure the ghost pirates Captain Bash and Bingo Bell into a trap, but the 2 roller coasters move in opposite directions and quickly collide, which leaves Scooby-Doo and Shaggy completely cornered. As all 4 of them rush into a tunnel, the roller coaster becomes badly damaged, forcing them to stack on top of one another. However, everything is still part of Fred's plan, because Daphne is there to catch Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, while Velma sets up a trap to capture the 2 pirates. Afterward, everyone gathers together to uncover who is truly behind everything, and they are shocked to see the faces of Chad and Chrissy. Fred explains that the 2 of them cannot let go of the captain's hat, which is why they go to such extreme lengths. This mystery also involves Rob and Laura, who have secretly planned everything for years in order to help Chad and Chrissy win the captain's hat. Their true goal is the treasure of Captain Bash and Bingo Bell, but they are never able to find it despite searching for many years. The situation spirals out of control when Chad and Chrissy suddenly kidnap Tommy and Brenda. On top of that, Rob and Laura intentionally destroy parts of the town to hide the secret passageways. The sheriff and the deputy sheriff are also involved because they build furniture using pieces from the roller coaster, and they want to destroy the tourism industry so they no longer have to do physically demanding work. In the end, Velma reveals that she already knows how to find the treasure of Captain Bash and Bingo Bell. Everything is hidden inside the poem that Rob often tells tourists, and as long as they follow it correctly, the treasure will reveal itself. Realizing that he has been driven by greed, Monkfish returns the land to the townspeople so they can rebuild the town from the beginning. Velma and Fred are awarded the captain's hat because everyone votes for them, but to both of them, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy and Daphne deserve it even more, since they give everything they have to solving this mystery.